If there's one thing that I'm known for is that I'm a little sporadic, some would say chaotic, disorganized, and I used to feel a lot of shame around that. I don't mean to interrupt this video, but I had to share my new book has come out, Living with Dirty Glasses. It's available on Kindle right now. If you are wanting to go deeper, I have a free downloadable workbook. I put these in there because they're just handy to have around as reminders of who we want to be and the kind of thinking that we want to have. Thanks so much. Enjoy the video. I was thinking the other day about the different ways that being disorganized or a little chaotic can be of benefit to you. I would hide how I used to live and chaotic life could get. I think sometimes it's just because I get overwhelmed and I have so many ideas and I'm afraid of forgetting those ideas. So I leave all these little clues around to remind me to go back to those ideas. Yet when I see other people's idea clues, they're kind of annoying to me, which is very ironic and just not fair. But as I'm doing my workout, because that's when some of my best ideas come out, is it's not such a bad thing to be like that. Like I said, I used to have a lot of shame about my way of living, but I find it more stressful trying to force myself to be organized because it's not my natural state. Of course I want things to be organized and neat and put away. I want things to look nice, but when it's affecting my everyday sanity, it's not worth it for me. So I've gotten to a point where this is good enough and I have to keep moving forward and let other people take responsibility for their own mess and their own clutter.
I will not accomplish anything of value if I insist on making the mess more important than my work or having connections.
Like, number one, it makes you resourceful, because if you're anything like me, you're constantly losing stuff. And as annoying as that can be, you are in a race to get the thing done before you forget what it is you're doing, for one. And two, before you lose the initiative to do it. Because, I don't know guys, if you're anything like me, if you don't do it right away and when you feel like it, it's not gonna get done. So I'll often be able to find another way to do the thing, or find a different tool, and I look for other ways to solve the problem that I'm in. So that's number one. It makes you more resourceful. Number two, it inspires patience and feelings of empathy for the people that you live with. They have to stop and think, if I were mom, what would my thought process be? And kind of go through someone else's shoes. And also to have patience. I think in this world of instant gratification, we are constantly running and expect things to be instant. It's okay if it's not. It's just okay. My two sons, especially, are very chaotic and disorganized. Even though we go into routines, and I'm really conscious of that, and inevitably if I let my guard down for a second, or even when I don't, it just goes that way. But I think coming from a place from understanding and seeing what could be the benefit of this, what I'm looking at it through the lens of it should be a certain way. Why should it be that way? Why is it a bad thing that people who think differently and see the world in a different way organize their world in a different way? I just feel like we're trying to coexist and think that only one way of living is the correct way. Now, I look at my own. I get annoyed with other people's mess, but again, you have to learn to coexist, but I look at my disorganization as little places where I leave my ideas so I don't forget them. If I don't do that, it gets shoved away in a pile and I don't follow through. So when you see someone else's disorganization, it's more they're trying to leave themselves clues to come back. Or it could be that they're so excited to move on to the next thing, to move on to something that's just lit up their brain, like synapses are going wild in there, that they just jump into the next thing and literally drop things and move on. And that can be frustrating as parents to see our kids doing that. But the reality is, what if you were that excited about something? I mean, when truly is the last time that you got that excited that you literally just wanted to drop everything? Now, I know this is a skill, but I want to take a second and just appreciate that joy for a second. Just truly sit with that you're so excited that nothing else in the world matters. I mean, when was that last time that you felt that? And the other thing, I think it helps us be more patient. I don't think there's one way to do things. And when we get frustrated and we feel upset, we feel disrespected as parents when our kids are just dropping stuff. And I'm guilty of it too, and I am that person. Yet as a parent, it drives me crazy because I feel like I have to make the house look a certain way. I have to do things a certain way or I'm not going to be accepted in my society. And I just feel like we need to change how we're looking at the expectations of society. It doesn't mean I'm a lazy parent. It doesn't mean I'm a sloppy person. It doesn't mean that I don't want to have good things. It means that I'm not going to berate my child or myself because I got caught up in a creative pursuit. Nature is messy, and our society has just come up with this idea that our homes have to look a certain way. And if your idea of joy is to have your home like spotless and every single thing organized, that's awesome. I appreciate your way of life, but it doesn't mean that your way of life is better than another's. And I think we need to appreciate that difference. You know, to me, it's the difference between nature and, a concrete building. But there's just different ways to live, and we organize our things differently.